I wanted to do a live stream, and I get a notification, I get a call. I guess we never take a rest from this life. So the moment it's I'm having a free time, as a single father is very very challenging. And at the same time, when I'm thinking about getting married again, also I'm feeling that it's also a weight that I'm gonna to lift. And if I'm feeling that in that way, so it's a sign that I don't want to do in it, even if can be beneficial for me. See, my son was showing up, and he was saying that I just want to say hi to you, dad. So it's it's sad, and at the same time I'm feeling a gratitude that that I'm living this life. And it's a dream sometimes. I'm feeling that some stuff that I dreamed about, they I manifested half of what I was saying in my 20, or or my in my 18-year old. And so, and the this live stream is a little bit tricky, because I tried a lot of stuff for the person who wanted to live stream. I tried to interact with people and to talk with them and to have a discussion. And we created a little circle. And I was not, I was having my views was getting reduced, because I was talking with just those few people. And and for me, I'm taking it like that, this life is for me, even is a safe place for you to chat here and to connect between each of you. It's not just about me. I'm here, I'm showing up. And I'm learning. I'm still and showing up and sharing with you any story and expressing myself, because this life gonna be gonna be proposed again and again, because you're gonna see me. Maybe you're gonna think that I'm live streaming from yesterday, and I'm not. So let's read that comment. Leishin Xiaomu Xiaomi. Okay, 1985. Okay. That was nice. Hey, Alexico, what up, man? So yeah, this channel, we talk about motivation, we talk about discipline, we talk about stoicism, music. It could be anything. It could be any subject. I'm not coming here and having a specific subject to talk about. Sometimes I'm going further with just one subject. Sometimes maybe you are talking just about the importance of walking or something like that, or you sharing. I was sharing my story here. I had a heart attack 2 years ago, and I was smoking for 18 years. So that was the outcome of me being consistent with the bad habits. I shared the story again and again and again for the person who are still smoking. Maybe they gonna hear my story, and some of them, if some of them in one of them get to withdraw himself from smoking, I will be so happy, because I had a heart attack at the age of 35-year-old. like very very young age, you know. So like I was training, I was working out, and you know I was consistent also. Like I was doing jujutsu, like you know doing a lot of stuff, cardio, you know, stuff like that. And I get some sign like from God, like one day like a doctor like said to me, you know, you don't need to smoke because like if you smoke, don't work out, like don't do those like at the same time, don't do, you know, both of them, like choose one. Like if you want to smoke, don't work out. If you want to, you know, work out, don't smoke. And so yeah, it's, you know, I get this sign before like I had a heart attack. And unfortunately, you know, I get, you know, this heart attack, and like I was struggling with that like for 6 hours. For 6 hours, like I was like feeling my heart, you know, gaining from my chest, you know, like I was like feeling like I never like felt that like I'm near like to that, like in that way. Like I was like dying, like I was not having any hope of like being alive. And so it was a very very bad experience. I was feeling my bones here like getting destroyed from the inside. That was crazy. Like my sister drove me, you know, to the emergency. And like we didn't know that like we need to do like, you know, this exam like of like, you know, ECG of like the of my heart. So we were like like we were like having like that like maybe my, you know, my colon or my digestive system is having like some issue like that. So they add to me oxygen, and that was very very bad, because like I was feeling that like I'm not breathing at all. So I returned to home after like they calmed me down and stuff like that. I get like a feeling of like in my back, like I feel like I was feeling pain like that, like crazy. And like the day after, I my sister told me like you need to check with the cardiologist like immediately. I told her nah, like I don't wanna like hear like something bad about. She told me no, no, there is no way. Like the yesterday was like very very crazy, so you're gonna harm yourself. And like I followed her advice to, you know, I checked it with the cardiologist, and she told me that, you know, I was having like this vein was full of blood stone. And so yeah, it's accumulated, you know. And this is like, you know, this is the outcome of me smoking for 18 years. I forget myself. On that process I tried multiple time, you know, to quit, to withdraw myself. I tried a lot of stuff, but like I never succeeded on like quitting myself. The moment that like I felt that pain, I leave it in, like did the that pain. And like, you know, my whole family was like, you know, like feeling that pain with me. And they were like, you know, they were shocked with that event. So, you know, that pain changed me. So I quitted smoking after, you know, after I did the surgery, all of those stuff. And like the craziest thing is that like I smoked one cigarette after I did the surgery. And shame on me, you know, like, but like I did it. And it was crazy. Like after I did the surgery in my heart, and like I, you know, the doctors told me like you, it's now it's good. Like I smoke it again. That was crazy. Like, at that time I realized that like, you know, habits can be crazy. Like you are not conscious, you know, when you are having like a habit that you did it for a long time, and you don't control that habit. It is crazy. Like I was like, yo, like from doing this surgery, like going to smoking a cigarette, that was crazy. And after that, like I tried, you know, the patch in you know, and the gum, like nicotine gum. And like I succeeded on one day, crazy as it sound. One day I succeeded on, I quit it. I felt very very relief. I went, you know, to take, you know, to have like a haircut. I, you know, I showered, like I did like some perfume, you know, I changed all the whole like of like my habits. at that day, and I succeeded on one day, because the day after that I was feeling like really confident. I was feeling that like I achieved something very difficult, that I faced it. My my fear, that was like a fear for me to withdraw myself from smoking. That was like I was like imagining that like a monster, like a monster that you cannot defeat. Like I was like thinking that I will never like survive without, not smoking. And like I did it. If I did it, you can do it. So that's my most like message when I'm live streaming here on YouTube. I'm using my those bad experiences that I lived by, and sharing with you here, because like at the end of the day, and like I spoke about like also like the importance of not giving like a lot like attention about like the opinion of other people, because like when I was in the hospital, a lot of my friends didn't show it up at all, and those people I was like having respect for them, and I was taking their opinion for reality, and I was like think I was not like just ignoring them. So they were important for me. So they were having like a place for me around me. So they didn't even show it up. And in my family also, like a lot of stuff that it's some stuff are personal. I don't want to go there. And so yeah, I discovered like a whole world, and like I was like, I'm a type of guy who like I never thought of myself that I will be in the internet making content, stuff like that. And after like I had this heart attack, and like I felt that pain, all of those stuff like that. I decided, when I saw like how like my circle was like behaving with me, they didn't, some of them like they continuously like seek it for their pleasure, and for like yeah, for their happiness. And like at that time, like I thought to myself, now I will never care about anyone, like, or the opinion of people, you know because like I remember myself, I was like doing jujutsu, and like I did like 3 years, and I decided to make some content, online, and like to doing it with my daughter, maybe like showing some technique. And like something stopped me, and like I don't have like any shame to say in it. Like I was like taking the opinion of my coach for like I was like, I'm gonna post, and he gonna criticizing me. He gonna say that like I just trained 3 years, and now I want to show up, technique, stuff like that. So that's like, sometimes this feeling of like the opinion, the judgment. Because if you ask someone, is say, now I don't care about anyone, but in the reality, you're gonna see him that he's caring. He's very. I'm not saying that don't take any opinion of any people. It's good to take opinion from your friends, stuff like that. But like if you wanna make content online, and like the opinion of other people, of your friend, you are feeling that they're gonna judging you. Stop that feeling, because like I faced that. I swear to God, like I was dying. I was in the hospital. I saw like you're gonna die, no one gonna remembering you. Even if now like I'm doing something very very funny, or everyone are gonna laugh, and like you're gonna forget about me. So it's like this is very very tricky, to take the opinion of other people for like for something like serious. Like if you want to make content, like start making content, and don't care about anyone. If your content is respectful, and is like about something that you are passionate about, or something like that, just ignore the opinion of other people. Because like we are all doing mistake. We are all sometimes like lagging, or sometimes we are forgetting words. And that's like in live stream here, you see like a raw content. Because like I'm not preparing myself, I cannot edit this video. So I can like forget like what I'm saying at all. And like it is okay to get yourself to be embarrassed from time to time, because like, at the end of the day, we need that. We need that because like we need to be challenged by, by those events, because like maybe someday you're gonna, facing something like that. Hey, Shani Mikhail, what's up? Hi, my friend. Aperno, thank you for saying that. Jesus love you. So the subject, it depends. Sometimes we are speaking about like a lot of stuff. Uh, the thing that like I didn't succeeded on is relationship are very very difficult to manage and stuff like that. So now like like I'm not arguing at all. I get like an argument, like 4 years, with me and my daughter. Like it is crazy. Like I almost like lost her. So a lot of drama happened to me, and like I saw like the reality of the how people behave, and how like they can be forgetting about you, and you are nothing for them. It is let's be real. Like some of people are gonna say like he's talking about his daughter, in that way. Like I'm just saying, because like nobody cared about me. Like I was, I felt that maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but like at the end of the day, I just discovered, because like I was living my life by this. I was like, having a lot of thought about how people gonna perceiving me, how all of those stuff was like, like a monster. I was creating a monster on my brain, and that's it. So now I'm facing that, and like, at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and we are all doing mistake, and I get yourself in a spot and to be embarrassed or anything like that. It's gonna just like giving you some more strength, and do whatever you want. At the end of the day, if you do something that you love, that you are passionate about, you don't need to care about like a lot of like, because like a lot of talking, blah 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 blah, like this man, like at the end of the day, who's gonna like, you don't gonna have any like uh like, who's gonna decide for your, people gonna decide for you. It is crazy. Like I'm from Algeria, UA. Let's read some comments, guys. Gonna read it. Yodas, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was fixing myself and talking to the camera. Guys, double tap that screen, and if you are like just scrolling, you are not in the live. Like just press to be in the live. Shani Michael, peut-être que tes amis ne savaient pas que tu étais. No, no, I'm just saying. Listen, Shani Michael, I know. Some of them didn't even know that like I was in a hospital. You are right. And some of them were like aware of the situation. And I'm not like going deep on personal stuff. I'm so sorry. You are my family, Shani Mikhail. But like I'm talking like in general, like even my family, I saw like I'm talking about like the importance of ignoring the opinion of other people, because like what is like more than dying? There is nothing like more than that. So I faced that. I saw how people don't gonna care about you if you are not here in this world anymore. They don't gonna care about you. They should do that, because like they don't gonna do anything for you. But like I'm just saying, like taking the opinion of other people, especially some people are just judging other people without any reason, and they are wrong. Some like some like I'm giving you an example. Like someone like he's like making content on YouTube here, and he has like a circle of friends, and they're gonna see and they're gonna start their like his video on short. Maybe they're gonna scroll, and they're gonna laugh or something like that, and he's gonna like quit that, pursuing that, and just because they laughed. Or I'm talking about that the resilience of, don't like I'm caring about people, how they are perceiving me. I am not like, I'm caring about like being respectful. I'm caring about, showing up as, giving respect to everybody, and being a good person. That's what matters to me. But like, if you are criticizing me at the end of the day about something like, that like I'm passionate about, uh, probably you are wrong, and like I don't need, any like opinion, and like I'm good with that. So people like judging stuff like that, I hate that. I'm just like, maybe this is like the most like hateful like habit or behavior that like I don't agree with anyone. The people who are judging other people, like I don't care like which, race or nationality, or which country, or I don't know, like, at the end of the day, like, that's selfish. That's selfish. If you are thinking about, like, judging other people, that's very, very selfish. And, that's crazy. And a lot of people, I swear to God, like, I'm not talking about this subject, like, that's, like, I didn't saw, with my eyes, that a lot of people are taking the opinion of other people, and they are quitting a lot of goal, just because their friend, they're gonna laugh, or one of their family is like judgmental, or it could be something like that. I'm just saying, like, I'm not giving like advice to like